Hi everyone, I'm Becky,
And I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about Closer to Nowhere by Ellen Hopkins, which we believe we both got off of Edelweiss.
I know I did.
I think I did.
I don't.
Because I think I requested it through NetGalley because I got an email saying to request it and it never came through, but then it came through on Edelweiss. So this is, I think, Ellen Hopkins' first middle grade book.
Really? Because she's
I
got a
don't,
lot of books, but I guess I didn't realize that.
I know, like, I have like a whole shelf in my teen room, and I know that there are some in adult, but I don't think I've ever seen any in children's. So this book is about Hannah and Cal, who are cousins. Their mothers were identical twins, Taryn and Karen, which, okay. Um, and Cal's mother dies from cancer, I believe. And so he goes to live with his aunt Taryn and Hannah, the cousin, and the father, the uncle Bruce. And basically he's just not really fitting in with the world. And Hannah doesn't really like having this other person there. He doesn't really fit in. He's weird. He does pranks. He has outbursts, and you find out that he was abused, and that at one point he was living on the street. And it's just kind of like about the drama of their existence together.
Yeah, I mean he's got some serious childhood trauma going on.
So there are some really important messages in this book. There is talk of abuse, and there's talk of mental illness, and there's talk of addiction, and there's talk of homelessness. But all of that talk is kind of sounds like it's from 1985, and it's an adult trying to decide what a kid should sound like.
So it's so funny that you say that because when I first started reading Cal, I imagined him as the character Rusty from Full House, and Full House is circa 1980s, early 90s.
Who was Rusty on Full House?
Rusty was the one that was like the son of one of Danny's girlfriends who would pull pranks on the girls all the time. Like the one episode where one of them had the black ring around her eye when she looked at the kaleidoscope.
I remember that, but I don't remember Rusty.
Yeah, he was a very like terrible child. And if I had to read the word rad one more time,
God. No, they said rad over, and that's rad. This is rad. And I'm like,
so rad.
So I don't know if in other parts of the country they still say rad, because they haven't said it around here since Full House went off the air.
So to be honest, though, like unpopular opinion alert, I have never gotten into Ellen Hopkins books. I know that teens love them. I know that they get into the drama. We've seen that teens love them when we've seen them at like Teen Book Fest, and they're like out the door waiting to get books signed by her. But they're just so over the top dramatic. They don't feel realistic. They don't work for me. Right. And I know that she's writing from a place of truth because she's experienced a lot of this through her daughters. Not personally experienced. Well, she's personally experienced some of it. Some of it's like the experience of her daughter. But
because Cal is based on the grandchild that she last took custody of, right?
Yeah, she talks about that at the end of the book.
Yeah. And you know what? They don't circulate any particularly well at my branch anymore.
Oh yeah.
Couple of jobs ago, like I couldn't keep them on the shelf, and now they don't ever go out. No, and I don't know. It's not necessarily the book in verse. Like I think she's good at doing that, but I feel like her characters are basically the over the top caricatures of what these things could be.
Well, and I feel like she was just trying to do too much with it, as far as it didn't feel organic how all of the issues kind of came into play, like the alcoholism and the homelessness and the abuse. And I think that there were key parts where she could have explored further, especially with Cal's paternal uncle. There was like a brief kind of sentence about how he spent time with his paternal uncle, and like we never really got to learn about any of that time outside of like a blip. But then you bring in like the last kind of dramatic event that happened in the book. I was like, come on.
Right. Well, no, like, and the ending didn't work. Like, the ending was like out of nowhere and it was rushed. But it was also like, it was, okay, well, I'm another chapter in. Oh, wait, new drama. Another chapter. Oh, new drama. Another chapter. Oh, new drama.
It just didn't feel, I mean, and I get that it can be realistic, and I get that these kind of issues can all occur within one family, but it didn't feel organic. It
Well, and then
didn't
you
feel,
had the super happy Scooby-Doo ending, too. And I was like, what is this?
yeah.
So, and I don't know. Like,
This felt like she was only given one chance to write a middle grade book, so she was going to do everything she possibly could do with it.
well, and like, the kids that come in that are the right age for this, I don't know if they're going to like it. Like, I think the kids that would want to read it, because it's really, the characters are in sixth grade, seventh grade. And so I think it's going to be third graders who are interested in this. And they're not going to take it. It's a huge book. It's going to be a huge book.
Hmm. Yeah, they definitely do read younger, but yeah, they are like 12, I believe.
And I'm like, so like the crossover is probably one of the most popular books in my library. And the kids love that book in verse, but this is not those kids that read the crossover. And it's not for the kids that read Judy Blume, and it's not for the kids that read the fantasy books, and it's not for the kids that read those Tim Green books. I don't know who I would give this to.
See, I don't necessarily know about the Judy Blume thing. Like Tiger Eyes and Deanie and all of that, those readers, I think. So not your Fudgemania or your Sheila the Great, like those readers are not going to kind of respond to this, but I think the Deanie and the Tiger Eyes, they would.
Those had a lot of character development. This didn't even have that much character development. What do we know about them? We know that Cal has issues. We know a little bit about his backstory. And we know that Hannah likes gymnastics.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
So, and I mean, like, I literally sat and read it in an evening. Like, it is super quick.
But is it because we were unfairly harsh on books in verse? We always are.
I
Unfairly.
try. That being said, Long Way Down still to me is one of the most brilliant books ever written.
That's fair.
Should we just rate this?
Yeah.
So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We'll go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
I'm at 3 unicorns. And I don't even know how to verbalize why.
So I'm at 3 because I think it is a good issue driven book. I think that for what it was well done. It's not my cup of tea.
And I'm interested
Um,
to see how readers are going to respond to it. Like
I could
how,
see it in a classroom because there's a lot to talk about.
yeah,
And for those reluctant readers, it's not my first choice.
that's fair.
So that is where we are on Closer to Nowhere, and we'll see you around. Bye.